Hello, I'm Rudranath Sanyal. Welcome to this special edition of War and Peace, your go-to program on security and geopolitics. We have brought you several reports and insights on a range of issues that have a bearing on security. Since the time we aired our edition on science and security, there have been a series of developments that have made science and the cutting edges of science all the more pronounced in the security environment. The chairman of the Defense Research and Development Organization, Dr. Satheesh Reddy, is here with us to give us insights into India's growing strength as a world power with its science and technology. Dr. Reddy, what do you think are some of the inherent strengths of Indian scientists who have progressed so fast despite that era of sanctions not so long ago?
The Indian scientists took the challenge of the sanctions. In fact, the sanctions made the scientists strive hard for the complete indigenous development of many systems. In fact, when you look back, maybe about 30 years back, 90% of the systems what we have developed today were not existing in the country. In the last about 25 years, people have worked a lot on many technologies, and all those required for many of the defense systems have been developed indigenously today, whether it is subsystems, components and systems. Today when you look at many of the systems what are used in our critical systems like missile technologies or radar systems or torpedo technologies and sonar technologies and EW systems, we are about more than 80 to 90% indigenous technology.
EW would mean
electronic warfare systems.
Right.
Credit goes to the scientists who have taken the challenge of developing the indigenous systems and make the country self-reliant in many of the critical areas.
It's, Dr. Reddy, hardly 2 decades ago, these sanctions were in force. And now, many of these global powers, the technology leaders, they're looking for partnerships with their Indian counterparts. So how did that happen so fast?
Absolutely. As I said, when the sanctions were imposed, I think it made the country's scientists think in a complete different way. Why should we depend on somebody, and why somebody should say that I will not allow you to develop these things, or I will not allow you to make these systems. I am not talking about defense technology scientists or defense scientists alone. Whether you look at the space, right from the engines what we have developed, the motors our country scientists have developed, the cryogenic engines what have been developed in the country, to various scientific departments in the country have taken this as challenge and have worked on many systems and many technologies on that. And particularly, as is rightly said, the defense technologies, and where the restrictions are more on the missiles related technologies. Today in the missiles, more than 90% is the indigenous technology content.
In his book, India 2020, Dr. Abdul Kalam says that if you tell the institutions to do the impossible, the possible happens. So are you still focused on dreaming that big?
Sure. Father of Indian missile systems and chairman, that time actually Secretary of Defense R&D Dr. Kalam, used to continuously tell all the scientists that you should think big. And when you think big only, you will be able to achieve something in your life. So always aim for very big things. Like example, in his own life, when we were making many systems, we were becoming one of the 5 nations or 6 nations in the world who have developed.
So that has been
technology.
the track record, actually.
Track record. But then he was saying, when should we make first of its kind systems, sort of a thing. And so he himself worked for the supersonic cruise missile with, of course, jointly with Russians, and made the BrahMos missile, which is one of its class.
The only one in the world.
The only one that time in the world which was a supersonic cruise missile. So what?
And we are cutting in live into this program because we are going across now live to Bhiwani in Haryana, where Amit Shah, the Home Minister and BJP President, is addressing an election rally.
हम जनसंघ के लोग 50 के दशक से नारा लगाते थे, जहां हुए बलिदान मुखर्जी वो कश्मीर हमारा है। मेरे साथ एक बार नारा लगाइए, जहां हुए बलिदान मुखर्जी। जोर से लोगों, मैं बोलूंगा जहां हुए बलिदान मुखर्जी, आप बोलोगे वो कश्मीर हमारा है। जहां हुए बलिदान मुखर्जी। मित्रों, कई सरकारें आई गई, कई पार्टियां आई गई, किसी की हिम्मत नहीं थी 370 और 35 से हटाने की। आपने मोदी जी को प्रधानमंत्री बना दिया, 300 सीटें। ये हरा वाला निकाल दो, ये हरा वाला निकाल दो। हाँ, इस और भी कर दो ऐसे। आपने मोदी जी को 370 हटाने के लिए 300 सीटों का अधिकार दिया। मोदी जी ने पहले ही सत्र में 370 हटा दी और कांग्रेस पार्टी इसका विरोध कर रही है। मित्रों, मैं कांग्रेस के नेता राहुल गांधी को कहना चाहता हूं, अभी तो आप विदेश गए हो भाई, छुट्टी मनाने के लिए विदेश गए हैं। हरियाणा में चुनाव है, महाराष्ट्र में चुनाव है। चुनाव जब भी हो, मगर छुट्टी का समय हो तो छुट्टी मनानी चाहिए। ठीक है भाई, युवा आदमी है, थोड़ा छुट्टी मना ले, हमें क्या तकलीफ है। मगर हरियाणा जब आए तब हरियाणा की जनता को जवाब दे कि धारा 370 हटाने के साथ हो या नहीं, देना चाहिए या नहीं देना चाहिए। भाई आप पूछोगे क्या? अरे ऐसे क्या पूछोगे या नहीं पूछोगे, बताओ, पूछोगे? मित्रों, एक कांग्रेस पार्टी 370 हटाने का विरोध कर रही है और भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने 370 को हटा दिया है। 70 साल से एक कश्मीर को देश का हिस्सा बनाने का प्रयास चल रहा था। हम सबके मन में कसक थी कि कश्मीर इस देश का अटूट हिस्सा नहीं हुआ है। मोदी जी ने रातों रात ये काम करके दिखा दिया। और मित्रों, जब देश के मामले होते तब राजनीति से ऊपर उठना पड़ता है। हम भी विपक्ष में रहे, हम भी विपक्ष में आपसे ज्यादा समय बैठे। आप तो अभी अभी जुम्मा 4 दिन बैठे हैं, हमारा तो पूरा जीवन विपक्ष में गया। जब देश पर संकट आते हैं, पार्टियां छोड़कर देश के साथ, देशभक्ति के साथ खड़ा रहना पड़ता है। बांग्लादेश की लड़ाई हुई, इंदिरा जी प्रधानमंत्री थी, बांग्लादेश की लड़ाई हम जीत गए, पार्लियामेंट हुई। सबसे पहले इंदिरा जी का समर्थन करने का काम जनसंघ के नेता अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी ने किया था। हमें यह नहीं सोचा था कि इंदिरा जी कांग्रेस पार्टी की प्रधानमंत्री है। इंदिरा जी ने अच्छा किया देश के लिए, पाकिस्तान के टुकड़े करके बांग्लादेश बनाया, हमने आपका समर्थन किया। मोदी जी ने धारा 370 हटाकर पाकिस्तान को चारों खाने चित कर दिया है। दुनिया भर में चिल्लाते घूम रहे हैं, मगर मोदी जी की कूटनीतिक विजय देखिए, पूरी दुनिया आज नरेंद्र मोदी के साथ लामबंद है, लामबंद है। और उस वक्त भी पूरी दुनिया समर्थन कर रही है, पूरी दुनिया। मगर कांग्रेस पार्टी नहीं कर रही है, उनको पॉलिटिक्स नजर आए। अरे आज का नहीं है सर, आज का नहीं। मोदी जी ने सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक करी, उरी में मारे गए जवानों का बदला लिया, पाकिस्तान के घर में घुसकर आतंकवादियों के पुर्जे उड़ा दिए। अच्छा किया बुरा किया, बताओ भाई, अच्छा किया बुरा किया? और जोर से बोलो, अच्छा किया बुरा किया? तो शाम लोहारू वाले के हैं अच्छा किया, राहुल की गांधी कहते थे प्रूफ लाइए, साक्ष्य लाइए। आप जवानों के खून की दलाली कर रहे हैं। अरे राहुल गांधी, आपको हो क्या गया है? ये हरियाणा वीर भूमि है। हर घर से एक जवान मां भारती की सेवा करने के लिए, अपने बलिदान देने के लिए हरियाणा का जाता है।
And that was the BJP President Amit Shah addressing a rally in Bhiwani in Haryana. And let's resume our programming once again, and let's go back to our program War and Peace.
At the time in the world which was a supersonic cruise missile. So work for that type of technologies. And that is how today we have our own main battle tank Arjun, what is developed. We have our Tejas aircraft, which has come into existence today, going into Air Force, being produced in the country. And these are the systems which country never thought that country could develop its own tank, country could develop on its own missiles, country can develop its own aircraft. But today they are all realities. So you always have to think big, and that becomes a reality after 10 years or 15 years, and dream for them. Yes. Unless you have a dream, actually it is said, if you dream that you should make something or you should become something, then you will not be able to sleep. Yes. Because to make that dream reality, you have to work very hard.
Right. It is well known that for several decades, India had this vast reservoir of people with knowledge of pure science. We have had all-time greats from the realm of science. But now it is getting converted to applied technology. So what is this quickest way to convert pure knowledge of science into applied technology in this highly competitive security environment?
See, from pure sciences, basically the path when you look at it is the basic sciences or pure sciences to applied research, to translational research, and to a product it becomes. See, it depends on the particular type of science and technology for it to take into shape into a product to come out. But generally, it could be anything from 6 to 15 years time based on the type of a technology. The academic institutes which are supposed to be doing the basic research, they do the basic research, and from there pass on to the laboratories like DRDO laboratories. You work on the applied research and come up to translation research. The translation research to actual product development and all that and production goes to an industry. So this cycle, as I said, can be from anything from 6 to 15 years of time it can take. As fast as, depending on the type of technology, what is required for a particular system, can be about 6 years, 5 years, or it can take up to 15 years also.
And do you think the industry, the consumers, and as well as startups in the private sector can, be all involved and be in sync from the start, from the word go?
For any country to progress and to become a real technological advanced nation, unless you dream of futuristic technologies and advanced technologies, you will not be able to come out with any state-of-the-art products. Today, a lot of startups are coming up, and these are all coming up with academic institutes. The incubation centers are established in varieties of academic institutes, and they are nurturing these incubation centers, and from there the startups are taking shape. And startups are, I think, in the coming few years are going to play a tremendous role with a lot of innovative technologies coming out of them.
And Dr. Reddy, do you think even average colleges and universities or products from average colleges and universities can come up with innovative technology for startups that are going to really help the defense sector in some way?
Your statement is extremely correct, true. Not just the institutes like IITs and Institute of Science and things like that. There are many institutes in the country which are producing many scientists and engineers who are coming out with varieties of products and varieties of technologies, and by establishing the startups in the academic institutes or somewhere else. I can name a number of students who have come from normal colleges who are coming up with ideas and innovations in defense technologies, trying to make many products for the security of the country today.
How would you like to qualify the range of science and technology for the defense sector, where medicine or space or rocket science, all that is part of the defense environment?
The range is wide, very large area. It starts from biological sciences, life sciences, food science, to radar technologies, underwater technologies, and ships, submarines, medicinal plants, physiology, and nuclear medicines, to chemical technologies, to material sciences, to space technologies, to missile technologies, communication technologies, electromagnetic, optical sciences, whatnot. So it is a wide spectrum of area what actually defense technology is called. In fact, if you look at the technologies worldwide what have emerged, many of the things which have come into civil domain also have emerged from the defense research and defense technologies. Talk about today the complete internet what we are talking, it has actually primarily emerged from the defense. That today we are using the navigation, space-based navigation, GPS, has come from the defense research and defense utilities.
There have also been criticism that sometimes DRDO was not doing enough quality control. How much of that is true?
See, primarily the DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization, concentrates more on the research and development of a product. Meaning, you do a research and come out with a translational research and try to develop a prototype. After that, the prototype get converts into a product produced by the industry. So, it is the quality should be there more in the industry where it is getting produced. Of course, the quality standards, design for quality and all that should exist in DRDO also. So, the quality system has been really looked into it very seriously. Right from designing the system, the quality things have aspects have been brought in, and from there onwards, when you pass on to the industry, how the internal quality of each industry, then the external quality system, and the testing mechanisms, and testing for the environment mechanisms have been brought in. The facilities, infrastructure have been built in. Today we have a third party quality also coming into it. There are many quality assurance, quality control agencies have come in the country who are able to give a third party. So we are insisting right from the technician who is working in each and every industry in our place is well trained.
And are you saying that some change has come about?
A lot of change has come in the quality system, and trying to put in the quality system across the industries also.
India is known to be good with designing airframes, world class. But why is it that we have not achieved as much in terms of engines?
See, engine is a very critical technology involving varieties of science, material science onwards to fabrication technologies and combustion related effects and fuels and whatnot and all that. It's a very complex technology. If you look at the worldwide also, there are very few countries which have produced engines today. But then our country also has made a good amount of progress in engines. Kaveri engine has become a reality, but then of course the power of the engine was not up to the mark what you require it. But then the spin-offs of that engine are getting into multiple applications.
The light combat aircraft, Tejas, do you think it is already 4.5 generation?
Somewhere around that. See, what is more important is the design, development and then production cycle what we have gone through last about 20 years of the LCA Tejas.
That base
has built the ecosystem.
Yes.
The base has been created in the country. There are many aeronautic engineers who have come and who have experience now today, and you know how to take from drawing to a product today. You are able to produce them. There are many industries which have participated. Many subsystems are coming in. Today, if we have to make another aircraft, we will not be struggling that much, and we will not be taking that much what we are taken that.
You're watching War and Peace, your go-to program on security matters and geopolitics. We will take a break now, after which Dr. Reddy will give us insights into the success of India's anti-satellite missile.
Informative, incisive, intensive. Get your daily dose of news and analysis in English News Night every weekday at 9 p.m. on DD India. Channel number 620 on Tata Sky, 199 on Dish TV, 150 on Airtel, 28 on UCN and 395 on Videocon D2H.
Welcome back. You're watching War and Peace, your go-to program on security and geopolitics. In this special edition of War and Peace, we have with us Dr. Satheesh Reddy, the chairman of the Defense Research and Development Organization. Now, Dr. Reddy, before the break, you gave us so much of insight into the inherent strengths of India's science and technology, particularly the defense scientists. Now, you had that massive success with anti-satellite missile that was tested successfully in March. You know, when it happened, there was some apprehension about, the debris disturbing space and damaging even the International Space Station. How did you overcome that, and how actually you work with such precision?
Firstly, Mission Shakti, the anti-satellite interception, is a very complex technology. What our scientists have achieved. The scientists have worked very hard day and night for a couple of years in design and development of this system. As you rightly said, when you are trying to hit a satellite in the low Earth orbit, the velocities of the systems are very high. The relative velocities between the two systems will be more than 10 kilometers per second. So, when you have such high velocities and your system need to go and hit the satellites, it's a hit to kill scenario. The accuracy is what you require are centimeters. So, you need to have very high precision systems, subsystems and technologies, and your algorithms have to be the very optimal algorithms, and the control guidance system what you are using should be very, very precise. And so, you have deployed all those technologies and you could hit the satellite with centimeters accuracy. And this is a pride of the nation, and you have shown your technological capability to the entire world, and the entire scientific community in the country across various scientific departments, and of course, the entire academia and other related people are extremely happy, and this has given a confidence in the Indian community that we also can do very complex missions like this. Coming to the debris, what you have said, lot of studies have been done and extensive simulations have been done on this subject, and seen that you are trying to hit the satellite in the low Earth orbit that is chosen to be around 280 kilometers, so that your debris, whatever you create, are dying very fast. Also, the way you have intercepted the satellite, you have chosen the way head-on collision, so that the chances of debris going higher in the upper atmosphere are very less. And the simulations what we have done have shown us nowhere we will be going anywhere near the space station. And as I said, the test itself has been designed and planned in such a way that you wouldn't cause any issue to any of the existing space assets. It's only done to show the technological capability and the scientific capability of the Indian scientists and India to the entire world, and also to instill confidence in the Indian community that we can do such complex missions. And you could do it, and you have become the fourth nation in the world who have done such exercise. United States of America, Russia and China, and you have done it. And yes, you have hit it and destroyed the satellite with centimeters accuracy.
So there were a lot of simulations that took place before the actual test. So do you think this is the trademark characteristic style of Indian scientists? Because this is what had happened in 98 also. The tests are fewer, the simulations are many, and by the time you do the test, you hit the target.
In any scientific endeavor, when you are doing an experiment like this, to see that you are able to do the experiment within the given boundaries, and you are not able, you should not cross the boundaries and things like that, you should have an extensive simulation should be done. Modeling and simulation is a very important element in that, and I definitely give credit to our Indian scientists for doing such accurate simulations and the actual test following the real simulation pattern. And I congratulate my scientists who have done this type of extensive simulations and ensure that the interception has gone exactly the way they planned.
What were the key challenges?
There are many technologies in this which we have, our people have designed and developed here. Firstly, the control guidance algorithms which have been designed for such high speed interceptions. People have designed very accurate algorithms which work for this type of conditions, and I feel that the Indian scientists, our scientists who have done that, kudos to them for coming out with such innovative mechanisms. Then the seeker, the optical seeker which has been deployed, which has continuously given a very long range tracking, is one of the key technologies. Right. The divert and attitude control system with quick response solenoid valves is again one more innovative technology which has gone into it. Then the navigation system and many other technologies which have been deployed into are some of the critical technologies which have developed for this purpose of mission Secy.
So do our scientists rise to the occasion all the time?
Scientists always have raised to the occasion whenever it was to be demonstrated to the world or it was to be developed.
Do you think our own satellites are well protected?
Basically, the mission Secy has been done to show the technological capability of the country to attack a satellite. This works as a deterrence. Okay. The deterrence is the best way of defense.
Okay, 100% of the systems were indigenous. And do you think this would be possible without the help of the industry, the private industry?
See, when you look at the whole sector of defense, unless the industry ecosystem is there, it is very difficult for any country to produce advanced technologies. The role what is to be played by the academia, the R&D organizations and the industry is very clear. Also, industry need to do research in niche areas. And with the niche areas, they should come out with products related to that niche area. We have introduced a scheme called Technology Development Fund, where to encourage the industries who are coming out with very good designs and they need infrastructure support. There are more than about 1,500 industries registered with us today. That's the type of...
That's quite a figure, it's a revelation.
Lot of people coming. And let me tell you about another very important scheme, Dare to Dream. This is Kalam, Dr. Kalam used to say that dream and then only you will be able to come out with product. Taking that idea, on his birth anniversary, we have announced a contest called Dare to Dream. Any individual or industry can come out with innovative ideas which can be really worth our rewarding. When we have announced that scheme, flooded with ideas. Now we are actually going through them and trying to see that and whom we can support, we can reward, and then later support it to come up as an industry. And these industries are looking not just for the Indian market or Indian defense market, they are looking at the worldwide market. Whenever we take up a research area, right in the beginning, we are taking development partners. Industry is joining as a partner in our a technology or a product development, so that they become the production agency later and continue.
And they can also help with matters like empirical evidence.
Absolutely. Not only empirical evidence, they help us in a big way. Their manpower works, the manpower is getting trained, and then their agility can be utilized and whatnot and all that. So the new models are evolving today.
Against this happy backdrop, what are your immediate priorities? We keep asking this question, perhaps it has become all the more relevant a question now.
We have a lot of things what we need to do. Firstly, we have to make many systems indigenous. We have to reduce the import dependency in a big way. We have become strong in many of the areas today: missiles, radars, electronic warfare systems, the sonars, the torpedoes, and communication systems, and all that. And we have many areas where we need to concentrate, right from materials, varieties of materials development onwards, precision components, sensors, detectors, and things like that. From there to some of the large platforms which are required for the country, some of the areas where we need to concentrate in the coming years and try to improve the indigenous content in the armed forces in a big way. The indigenous content will go up close to, my feeling is, are above 70% in the next about 5 years. This is what I am very hopeful, and I am sure that it should be happening in the coming 5 years.
Okay, these are all happy developments and the heart is happy. So what is the importance of heart in this business of research? Dr. Kalam would say that anything that is done half-heartedly would not only yield half-hearted results, but also would generate bitterness all around. So what is the significance of this quotient called heart of the scientist?
When you give your wholehearted involvement into anything, then only the complete results will be seen. You have to, Indian style we say, manasa vacha karmana, you have to participate in anything work. I am been seeing last 25 to 30 years, the scientists have given everything to the work what they are doing.
So we come to the end of this special edition of War and Peace, your program on security and geopolitics. If you wish to write to us, you can send letters to War and Peace, room 513, Tower B, Doordarshan Bhavan, Copernicus Marg, New Delhi 110001. You can also send an email to warandpeace2004@hotmail.com. Keep watching and keep looking out for another episode of War and Peace, both on DD News and DD India. Bye-bye.